Welcome back to the F2P 2 Legend series. So while I have been streaming this every day, I looked back at my channel and I realized it has been quite some time since I made a video about this account. So this video is going to kind of explain where I'm at. And if you weren't tracking already, I'm already doing some PvP. I'm already in the battleground. I've only seen bots thus far, but I've been doing them nonetheless. So there were a few things I needed to get before I started doing BGs, so I have the best odds of winning a good amount of matches. One, I need to get my CR up by upgrading my gear, getting more levels on my ancestral tableau, upgrading the Heliquary, getting good triple stat set pieces and legendaries, and a little bit from the gems, but not really that much. The Seeker's Path has made this process so much easier. The hunt for scrap is almost non-existent now. It's really gold, flowing shards, and dust. But even then, you get some of those from the Seeker's Path whenever you level that up as well. So pretty much getting level 26 gear only requires you to get, like I was saying, this flowing shards from legendary items in gold. I have 5 pieces of gear at level 26 right now, and it's barely been a month. As well, the biggest thing that I've been trying to push for is awakening all of my gear slots, which not only requires platinum to buy the Dawning Echoes, but also requires a bunch of gem power, which I didn't have for a very long time. So in order to achieve this, I've been selling all of my Topaz, the Resistance Gem, and all of my Aquamarines, Armor Gems, as well as been selling 100% of my Terra Essence, and I'm going to be pretty much super glass cannon with this build, so I can get away with having less armor and resistance, and just focusing on the armor pin and potency. But selling all of these was keeping me at about a rate of 1 Dawning Echo per week. So doing all this, it should take me 2 months to have all my slots awaken. But if you look at my account now, I do have all 8 slots awakened, and it's only been a little over a month. I've had some really good luck with my rune drops. I've gotten 2 FA runes that I could sell for about 7,000 plat each, in addition to everything else. I've made about 80,000 plat from everything, and then the rest came from my daily codex rewards, and that got me the 8 Dawning Echoes. But I also need gem power, and most of that, it comes from getting lucky with Mirror Jewel events, to be honest. So last week, at the last Mirror Jewel event, I was able to pull 2 Echoing Shades from a Mirror Jewel run, which I turned that directly into gem power and got a few different gems ranked up to 4 from that. And as well, the first ever 10 crest I did on this account, I did end up getting a Storm Vault. So I've had a little bit extra gem power since from the get-go. Maybe that is like the new account luck, unsure if that's a confirmed thing or not, but it happened. So with all those things, I was able to get not only the 8 Dawning Echoes I need, but also all of my gems to rank 4. I'm using 1 stars and 2 stars. Here are my gems on the screen while I'm talking about this. And then, of course, I'm using the Grim Rhythm, and I need to complete 2 battle passes to get the Grim Rhythm. Luckily, when I first started this account, we were over halfway through that first battle pass, so that's why I've been able to get this a little bit quicker than 2 months. Otherwise, I just wouldn't use one of the battle pass gems until I have it at rank 4, because I do need every single buff, every single boost, anything that I can get to give me a little bit of an edge, because my stats are going to be very, very low. As well, a few days ago, I was running some Elder Rifts, just capping my Fading Embers, and I was able to pull a QOT rune as a drop. That's right, I got a 9% rune, first Lego rune on the account. It is a decent one. It doesn't sell for the cheapest, but it's not, like an RAUM or a TAHT. Those ones are selling for at least 200k plat. So I was trying to slow sell this one for about 60 to 80k over the past few days, but I kept getting lowballed. I'm pretty impatient. I don't need to get so much plat from it. I'm not trying to get other 5-star gems. The only thing I'm really going to be using this for potentially is getting my secondary stats up. So I lowered the price, and from that I got 40k plat, which this just happened actually as of the time I'm recording this. So I should be able to break 3,000 on my secondaries very, very soon. And then another thing is using the Reforge Stones. Whatever Reforge Stones I have, which most of the Reforge Stones I've gotten are only from the Hilts Trader. Haven't really got them from many other places. I did a little bit of Tower War at some point, just again fighting bots, but I think I got like 4. It was like 2 or 4 Reforge Stones from that. And then the few that I've gotten from the small rank ups I've gotten in BGs right now. So I've used a little under 80, or just right around 80 Reforged Stones as of now. But I was actually pretty lucky. I was able to get 3% reduced damage from players and 4.5% increased damage along with many other boosts that are giving me quite a bit of help. Unless I'm not able to get Legend in this season, then that's probably pretty close to as much as I'm going to get on most of these Reforges. I want to try and complete this within this season, but if it does take longer, then, you know, I'll just try to get it as quick as possible once the next season starts on the 7th of October. So now, this brings us to today, which I'm in Silver 3, but I've only fought bots, as I mentioned earlier. I expected this to be the case, but what I didn't expect is that each match has taken anywhere from 7 to 15 minutes just for the game to disrespect my time and give me a bot match. And what I've come to figure out is that it seems like the game is trying to give me a real match for about 7 minutes, and then at 7 minutes, it gives up and gives me a bot match. So if I refresh the search like, you know, you would normally do, it makes this take even longer. And so I have to just wait out the 7 minutes. But if I were to lose one of the matches, one of these bot matches that is, which has happened multiple times, then the next match will immediately queue up, and I'll immediately get a bot match. It's absolutely absurd. So the 2 hours that I have on stream to do BGs really turns more into like an hour or less with all this wait time. And you might be wondering, how can you even lose a bot match? And it's because of how brain dead easy Barb is. And that's even a Barb with 700 reso, 2500 stats. He can just walk around, be unkillable, heal off everything while doing damage, while being immune to control, all this stuff, retaliating all the damage around him. So you literally don't have to do any inputs. And this is a bot. So even I'll be getting 30 plus kills. Some matches I'll also have a bot on my team that is getting 20 plus kills with me, and we still lose. It is what it is. But we're almost into gold, which at that point I won't be seeing any more of these bot matches. I'll be with real people, which if I was with real people, I feel like I would be doing a lot better, to be honest. We'll have to see how it goes. So I started off using an older PvP build, which I'll put on screen right here. I got this one from my Discord, and I was using it until I was able to get some of the newer essences. And now that I do have these newer essences, which I had to go through and craft a lot of this, I had to also use a bunch of those chests that I've been saving up just to get the newer essences. I can start using some of Mao's PvP builds. The invisible meteor from, you know, half court, that type of build. And this one's going to be a lot better because I can stay further back. I don't have to be on top of the enemy. With the old build, it's what most people are used to. You know, you're teleporting your Coda the Astrum, Lightning Nova, you're right on top of everybody, just chopping them up. So I can't really do that, I would assume, with real people because they're going to be a lot stronger. As well, I used all of my materials that I had been saving up, all of my rhodolite, all of my iron ore, all of my stained remains. I've been saving up all of that. I used everything to get 4 out of 4 meteor for this build as well. So hopefully that will, again, give me a little bit more help, a little bit more of an edge of what I already have once I do actually start fighting real people. So I was going to end the video here, but I decided, you know what, maybe I'll get a few more, hopefully, bot matches in before the next stream, get myself a little bit closer to gold, because to be honest, waiting 7 minutes for a bot match is not the best content to watch. So I queued up and it was time for Convoy, and luckily, unluckily, however you think about it, I ended up getting real players in my matches for a few of them. And this first match was looking really good. I didn't see any big wings. Everybody looked like they were around the same reso. Highest I saw was maybe 3k or so, 4k maybe. And I had a really, really good time with this match. I was able to stay on the idol for most of it. That's basically what I started off doing. I wasn't sure, you know, how strong I would be, and I didn't want to go too deep into the enemy. But now that I'm using this newer build, I can keep a very, very long distance away and just poke people down, be annoying, keep them off the idol. And looks like things are working out very well with this build. I don't think the original build I was using would have performed even half as well, especially with some of these DHs getting, you know, hit by Surging Stone with some of the druids and everything. And so we kind of stomped them out on this first match. I was not expecting anything close to this. I even ended up picking up a few kills myself. And you'll see even here at this point, this Necro started chasing me around for some reason. They were kill hungry on me, but I ended up pulling them off the idol. So they were just, you know, in the back fighting me for no reason while my team is progressing. And, you know, I don't really do any damage, so I'm not gonna ever really be worried about getting the idol myself or, you know, killing the guardian in the middle. So if I see my teammate on it, I'll go help them, but that's not something I'm gonna go try and do. It'll take me maybe 10 minutes to go kill it myself. The best thing I could do is throw around my storms, poke people down with the meteor, And then, having the 4 out of 4 meteor will help me do more and more damage the longer I'm fighting these people. So the first match, we were able to very cleanly sweep them, take them out, get a dub. However, the second match was not as smooth in the slightest. So I immediately load in, and the first thing I see are 7k wings. Oh my god, no way. Game number 2. Yikes. So things aren't looking the greatest off the start, because if there's anyone even close to the same stats on the other team, my chances of surviving are 0. So things weren't looking too great. But I looked at the rest of my team, and no one was even close to 7k. So either it's somebody is abusing the matchmaking system, or the matchmaking system just is kind of crazy for Convoy, because it was just this one 7k on my team. I ended up looking at the other team at the end of the match. They had an 8k and someone who was right around 5.5k or so. So the only thing I could do is stay as far away as possible. But even then, these Crusaders were knocking me out. All they had to do was touch me, and then Angment would get put on me, and they're so much higher stats than me, so it just takes me out. However, the 7k on our team was actually chopping these dudes up, putting them in a blender, which really, really helped us out. So this one honestly went pretty similar, other than, them having a lot stronger people, so I spent a lot more time dead. I still was able to participate and get some kills, help out, use my storms, zone some people off. And you can see even right here, not everybody on their team was that big, so I am able to do some damage to some of these guys. And while we were over here, the Guardian was getting taken down, so this is when I would try to help out, because I'm not doing that much on my own, but team effort, you know what I'm saying? So we secure the Guardian, and it's basically wraps at this point, if you can't tell already. We are pushed up so much farther than they are. And you can see right here how I'm actually able to tank a little bit based on who's on the enemy team. I'm kind of close with this fight, close enough that I can affect the fight, zone some people off, hit the people with the storms, and help the team push. Again, pretty much a hard carry from this 7k on our team, but they did have an 8k and a 5.5k on their team. So this one was another easy dub. No sweat whatsoever, even cleaner than the first match. They didn't even secure one checkpoint with their idol. We blew them out. So I decided to try my luck one more time with the Convoy, but I wasn't so lucky this time. I immediately load in, and as soon as I jump onto our idol, who do I see? Someone with 9k wings. And they absolutely locked down our idol the whole time. So this 9-point-something-k druid just sat on our idol the whole time. I'm convinced that this instance was for sure some sort of matchmaking manipulation, unless the matchmaking just broke so bad, because not a single one of us were touching this guy. I think the person on our team who was higher reso, they ended up spending the whole match on the other side of the map too, which doesn't help at all. But even then, we were just locked out. So I got a little taste of my own medicine, in a sense, from the last match. I spent the whole time basically in our spawn trying to max range hit these guys. I even used the little ping system. If you didn't know, you can do that. It's right on the map. There's a little silhouette kind of thing of a person. You can just click on it and it'll say defend here, or you can click and drag and it'll say attack here, and you can ping the map. That's actually pretty cool. I wish that was in the normal BGs, not only in Convoy. So I'm not even doing any of this guy. I'm just poking him. It's like I'm throwing feathers at this guy. But I am able to do some damage to the other people, just not him. So they ended up pushing incredibly fast, even without their 9k helping them push, because I guess, they're just better. That's what it is. That's what it ends up being. They're just better. And at some point, I see someone in the middle fighting off the Guardian, so I was like, you know what, let me go try and just annoy this guy a little bit. And I was actually doing a fair bit of damage. If I had another person with me, this guy would have gone down super easy, but I was even able to take him out myself. I guess the Sacred Guardian was kind of, giving the assist on that, but this is just, goes to show that I am actually able to do damage, to be annoying, to do anything to help my team. It's just unfortunate that we were against someone who's 9k. And I was even going head-to-head against a wizard right after that, after I got that kill. So this is the first Convoy defeat, and I decided I would just not do more Convoy, because maybe the Convoy matchmaking is just broken, and I'll just stick to the normal BGs for the time being. Maybe things will change once I'm a higher rank or something. I have no idea. So I gained a little bit from these few matches. I won 2, lost 1. I can't complain at the end of the day. So hopefully we'll get to gold and we'll have normal matches on the normal battleground map, because I think that map will suit me better for this playstyle with the wizard. So if you do want to keep up with this, I am still going to be streaming this on the daily from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern. I stream both here on YouTube, and I've just recently started streaming on Twitch as well. So whichever one fits you a little bit better, go for it. And as well, once we do get into gold and we start facing real players, I may start streaming at 2 different times. So maybe do an earlier stream in the mornings and then take a break and then start streaming again later in the evening, just to match up with the BG times a little bit better. Or I might just start streaming for a lot longer every day. We'll see how it goes, but my goal is to reach legend by the end of the season. With all that being said, I would like to thank you all for watching. Once I am able to finish this series, I'll continue making up some new guides, throwing out some new content like that for you guys to enjoy. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. As well, you can support the channel a little bit more by joining the channel for as little as 99 cents. And then I'll feature you at the end of every video. So on that note, I'd like to thank our current channel members: Troy's Videos, Clips, Mohammed Tahar, Sarah Bell, TC Link Gaming, Sir Fahed, Tubby Ninja, Ugly Mo, Randall De La Cruz, and Lola Nunn. I appreciate y'all's support, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.